Taking time.
Fo. Look, man, welcome to Mindset Therapy Real Talk Podcast. We're on a special edition today. We running these highways. We up here in OKC, Oklahoma City, with your man, Mr. Mindset Therapy himself, Mr. Free, Free Man, and my co-host, Red Hope, Mr. Mike, Aura P. You already know what it. I mean, Mike P, which y'all know him as. But look, check this out, man. I want that with me because some live right now, man. It's gonna be so amazing, and y'all need to hear my uncle's story, bro. Y'all got to tune in, y'all got to chime in, y'all got to listen to this, bro, because it's bigger than us three fellas sitting right here. It's a whole team of people that's gonna be behind this. So here at Mindset Therapy, we help men, women, and children believe in themselves. Again, we offer 7 simple strategies to developing a positive mindset, and we stand on that. Let's go. Oh, on you, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, we not in studio, we live, so you got it. I'm excited right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm amongst greatness right now. So, my brother Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself, and you know how you do. We do this as a right?
So we're back, as my man said, man, we're live, man. We have an awesome guest. And I'm not going to try to take one moment, because I can't, of his story. But we're here again, Mindset Therapy. We're live, we're bringing it. And yeah, man, we popped out, man. We popped out. Having said that,
OKC,
yeah, OKC, man. Shout out to OKC. Having said that, we passed the mic.
but God.
But God, we all need to hear this.
But God. Everything but God. My name is Glenn Ray. Introduce myself as the free man. I respond to questions.
Okay, Mr.
You
Glenn.
don't answer questions, you never get that.
Oh, I have a whole bunch of questions for you. I used 7 questions to develop the positive mindset, so I stand on that.
Mindset.
Let's go. I got you, Mr. Ray. But you can tell him, you can introduce yourself and tell him the beginning of your story, how you wind up in your situation where you at. Not really get in depth, but what you want to share. And I'm gonna have my question for you when you're ready.
Actually, bro.
We know you're from Harvey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stand on that.
Yeah, old Harvey.
Come on now.
Lose out. You heard me?
Come on now. We ain't from no new Harvey. We from old Harvey.
Yeah, it's a distinction between the two.
Come on, man. We used to ride in something called Billy the Red, if you understand what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right. So, I agreed to, do a little podcast with my homies and stuff. And two things we want to talk about. Not necessarily my story. Every word on my mouth is my story, My story is just not about my wrongful incarceration. My story actually is about resilience and, faith and confidence and patience, I would hope whatever I got to say would basically be, based in that. Like I said, I respond to questions. If you never ask the right question, you never get the right answer.
Okay. I want to go to my co-host right quick.
So, what I would like for you to do, if you don't mind, just kind of share with the people. We know your name. We got that you from Harvard, old Harvard. But share with the people from lived experience how you got incarcerated. I'm not necessarily breaking down the crime. I'm not asking that. I'm just kind of letting the people know that you were incarcerated and kind of the milestones that you went through to get you where you are at present.
Then they capitalize.
Compress it. Complete and concise. Complete and concise.
I got you. Check this out. I was wrongfully incarcerated in 1975, given the death penalty for a crime I didn't commit. It's hard to defend something you didn't do. Harder to defend it if you're guilty, because if you're done it, you couldn't call it a defense. That's right. When you're innocent, you don't It's just a mistake. It's gonna be corrected.
Right.
Got faith in God. This ain't gonna go down. You got faith in the system. It ain't gonna go down. I was 21 years old, just turned 21. So
Wow.
no prior experience with the judicial system. No convictions as a juvenile or adult.
Never been in trouble.
Yeah, I got arrested a couple times.
But it's mine.
Protest was disturbing the peace. See how long ago this was,
Wow.
protesting in the Vietnam War,
Mm.
stuff like that. But my story is not. My story is not as rare as you would think. It's a common thing for these to go down like this.
Mm-hmm.
My story took 48 years to come to life.
Wow.
What
Wow.
you know now, what you read on the internet, it's been there for 48 years. So to give me the death penalty, it's 1975. I was scheduled to die October 7, 1975.
So they was gonna kill you
Absolutely.
in 1975.
Absolutely.
That's the year my brother was born.
And the governor of the state signed the death warrant.
He signed it.
You got to. How you have to go kill me?
But you was innocent.
How many innocent people have they killed since then? That's the question.
That's why we here.
Right? Because today I got a declaration of
here.
actual innocence.
Wow.
You see?
Declaration.
I got a declaration for one of the few that I know of that exists.
Mm.
Declaration of actual innocence. And it reads, he had absolutely nothing to do with the crime that he was convicted of, sentenced, and, that's what the judge said, 48 years after the fact.
Mm.
So pose that question. How many innocent people have y'all killed since then? My story is a story for ponderance.
Mm.
My story is a story of laws. And not only faith, my story is a story of mercy.
Mm.
The Messiah said, and he demonstrated, he showed us that mercy triumphs justice.
Yes.
We get justice wrong a lot of times when it's not natural law, when it's man-made law.
Man-made law.
We get it wrong a lot of times. We find ourselves in the highest corridors of debating the issue about gender equality, the man in the bed, girl's bathroom. How we get here?
Right.
When you suspend logical, your logical conclusion.
Right.
When you don't come to no law, you got to suspend that. That's how we get here. But back to my story. My story is one of resilience. My story is one of faith. My story is one of despair and depression and hatred and bitterness. My story is one that I stood on the front line with a whole lot of brothers fighting those injustices, racism, all the stuff in the penitentiary in the 70s and 80s,
Wow.
They're just stories. They're just dramatic stories to us now, but I lived through them,
Mm.
And standing on the front line with brothers fighting these things, in order to practice Islam, they do it in secret. Call yourself, you don't eat pork,
Mm.
hey, they're going to put lard in your oatmeal.
Mm.
Make sure you don't deviate, In order to have a Quran, we sneak it in page by page. We cover the prayer. So, just to get those things established, to have more business, to have what they call classification committees.
Mm.
We had to fight for that stuff. But those things are historical now, but it's recent history because I'm talking
Right.
30, 40 years ago. We forgot the work that was put in to do that. Those are the things that gave me my discipline and my steadfastness, to fight against that. So I absorbed that. They gave me a name back in the day. Everybody was like I said, self-determination. That's what we're trying to adopt. We didn't. We in retrospect, I can see why we tried it. I'm gonna have a priest in my pants this way. You're gonna have your hair cut this way. We're trying to establish some individuality. Because when you first get arrested, they make you what they call a skinner. Cut your hair, give you the same uniform, so you no longer individual. Ain't no, that's the first step of taking away your self-determination. You see, so unconsciously we do things trying to express that. But when you're under a regulated system, those things become like you rebellious. I'm on that road and they got this, I'll tell you the story, I got this grooming code. Now we talking the 70s, the afros is, and the beards is, it's the thing. They got a grooming code. You're not allowed to cut your afro but like this, and you still can't have no beard, no mustache. Grooming code. You get a write up. Take away your privileges and stuff. So they come by to sell this at Simmons. You need to be shaving. I've been growing a beard and stuff since I was, 15, just naturally, right? So he said, you need to be shaving. I'm like, I'm not shaving, man. You shave me when you do the autopsy.
Mm.
Fit the deal.
Wow.
I guess it right up. They shoot me with the gas, the whole time, and
Such a good.
yeah. So those are the kind of things that mold and fold. Who I am, what I said. But most of the things I did is documented. I became a poet, became a writer, storyteller. So in order to get away, it was about survival. God gave us, He gave it to us, He gave it to the cockroach. Two mechanisms: flight or flight, fight or flight. We all got it. Fight or flight.
Wow.
It's within all of us. I went to the prison. I was functionally illiterate, 8th grade dropout. All right. I could read, not much. Comprehension is shady. But when you're in a situation like I'm in on death row, then you get a lot of sympathetic correspondence and letters, bombarded with, wasn't able to respond, to articulate myself. And
Because of your education.
yeah, I didn't, yeah, that kind of stuff. But I had a next door neighbor that couldn't read, and he would pass his letters. His wife would write him at least twice a week. He was passing his letters over to me, saying, thinking like, man, I can't understand the right. You write so bad. He asked me to read the letter. I'll stumble through them, give him some clarity on what she's saying. And he'll send it back later. Say, man, read it again, man. I really can't understand it. He won't hear it again, what she said. So after this went on for so long, I asked the brother, can you read? He confessed to me he can't read. I said, well, man, I can barely read. Let's unite. I'm trying to learn how to read and write. 6 months later, we helping other people write letters. We writing poems and poetry and stuff like that,
Now all this is on death row,
Yeah,
solitary,
yeah,
single cell,
yeah.
and you're screaming through the
ball.
cage,
Yeah.
the ball,
Hey, that's communication.
and that's the way you're communicating.
Yeah.
And I just want the viewers to know that,
That's
just
right.
to set the tone,
That's
to give them the mind,
visual,
right,
of the
of
communication.
your house,
Yes, yes,
what you had to endure
yes.
to survive.
So let me on tape. Now this is 76. It's like fighting. Fight back, or fight or flight. Writing, it's like fighting. Well, to fight back, I learned how to write a brief, right? Which is what I done. I studied the law, learned the law. And I write a brief, and then now and then I learned how to write poetry, short stories, and whatever I needed, letters and stuff, and fight back against this helplessness, right? You're sitting there waiting, and you're just helpless, and you can't do nothing. You got to fight back some kind of way. Reading is like fleeing, because I could read Moby Dick, and I'd be reading the Ben Losen somewhere. I read all the old classics. It took flight way on another planet, right? So writing is fighting, reading is fleeing. I write this poem in an attempt to save my sanity and going crazy. It doesn't win crazy, sometimes it's a thin line between sanity and insanity. Sometimes you're in there and you don't know it. Crazy as fuck. You don't know it. But the thing about that, it's like a rubber band, expand and return. If it don't snap.
If it don't snap.
If it don't snap. A lot of brothers. But I write this piece. Check it out. Here it goes. And the name of the piece is called Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I didn't turn this piece into a rap, a song, I put a beat with it, because we used to do a performance art out on the East Yard. We'd get these 5-gallon drums and brothers know how to get a beat, and we'll recite our poetry and do, performing arts. We learn that shit on ourselves in the yard, right? So this brother, I wrote this piece, and it's called "Oh Lord." It's the documentation of what I went through. Okay. Oh Lord, what you got up in this here prison cell? Keep producing noise in my head like yells from hell. Is it them there bars of steel, or is it these here floors of dirt? Make this shit really hurt. Today I feel like a certain sad despair, like life just one big grim affair. So I pray all day to God above for just a little bit of freedom, peace, and love. That even as I struggle still against this urge to flee or kill again and again against my will, still, I wish time to just pop a pill. And in this thing about suicide, take that sideways coffin ride. Convicts and guards, they won't even cry. One crocodile tear for men who died. They just deceive to believe that life is cheap and that their sway them from them deeds and diabolical plans to hear you scream, oh Lord, my God, of a broken man, oh Lord. The Lord say, nothing's ever accomplished by wallowing in grief, it's by constant struggle to obtain relief. That's what the Lord said. The Lord said, yeah, life is pretty tough and it's rough and it's gritty. Why must you drown in your own self-pity? That's what the Lord said. The Lord said, I know you feel it, sick like you're water bound, but if you ever stop stroking, you're bound to drown. That's what the Lord said. That's what the Lord said. That's why I wrote my way up out of that insanity I was going through. Right. See, that's
You
the
about
story.
to snap.
About to go, bro.
That's that fight.
That's the fight. But it's documented. And all that shit is, you know, oh Lord, what you got up in these here prison cells? Keep producing noise in my head like yells from hell.
Right.
You know, this shit is real, bro.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, question on, bro.
Yes, I do. Uh, when did you get off death row? Because I know it was a point. So
77, 19, May 1977.
wow.
May 1977. Because of a Supreme Court ruling that the death penalty in Oklahoma was unconstitutional in its application. Oklahoma had what they call a mandatory death penalty. They got three elements to prove first degree murder. And if you found guilty of these three elements, then you're going to get killed in the electric chair. The jury ain't got no decision in the rendering of the punishment. Ain't no lesser included offense. Or none of that. It was you call it mandatory, right? So Foreman versus Georgia in 1976 outlawed the death penalty in North Carolina and Texas and all that stuff because of unequal applications, right, of the death penalty. Oklahoma seeing it coming. They didn't give me the death penalty. The jury had no decision whatsoever in the rendering of the punishment. So that made the death penalty illegal. I wasn't given the trial by jury. By the law that they had wrote, so Oklahoma seeing it coming that they're going to have to, take us back to court or throw the shit out.
Yeah.
They went to a special session and wrote a new law and commuted my sentence from death to life under the new law that didn't even exist when I had a death penalty. And it would look like I'm ungrateful for my life being saved, but that's not necessarily so. You know what I'm saying? I still, what the appeals court did, they did the same thing that they told the district court they couldn't do. Give me a sentence without the jury being involved in it. You see what I'm saying? So it was one of the biggest fuck ups in the history of the Oklahoma legislature. I've been challenging it. I challenged it for years back in the day, and I couldn't get past it. I didn't have a clout, the law firm, and put behind it, and we talk about 37 convicted murderers, and some of them needed to be on death row. Let's get this straight on camera. I'm not absolutely against the death penalty. I believe in accountability. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't believe is killing innocent people. That's why I don't like it being in the state. And it used to be the state of Oklahoma versus Glenn Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the state. No, it used to be the people. It's the state of Oklahoma now. You remember when the indictments used to say the people of Texas versus blue, blue, blue? It used to be the people. It's not the people no more because 70% of the people in Oklahoma said we don't want the death penalty. 72% said we don't want the death penalty. Yet since I've been out in the last 2 years, this government has killed 5 or 6 people. Then signed their death warrant. Come on now. Ask the question. How the fuck? What?
So how many times did they
You might
deny
want
you?
to edit that. Yeah, that'll get me killed putting them secrets out there. I'm trying to get these fools for $100 million, but we might not put that shit on
So how
camera.
many times did they deny you parole?
Oh shit, 30 times
What?
or more. Wow. I didn't show remorse.
For something that you were
You
totally
didn't do it.
innocent.
I didn't take responsibility.
Are you gonna take responsibility?
So here we go. That's why I stayed in 48 5 months and 18 days. The guilty man and 90% of the people into a guilty plea.
And
The guilty man, when he get in, he go to before the court and he plead guilty. Rape, robbery, murder, child molestation, any atrocious crime you could think. He in a guilty plea. Come to penitentiary, they my cell partners. 30, 40 years, they be my cell partner, right? They do what's required of them when they go through assessment and got a certain amount of years before they go off for parole. Correct. Go ahead. And they fit the requirement, you know, and go off for parole. Wow. And it said, feel remorse for what I did. I took responsibility for the crime. You know? Parole will give him a parole. Let him go. Work we talking about doing, recidivism, right? Statistics says 6 to 18 months. Within 6 to 18 months, gotta be right back. Wow. I'll go up there every 30 years. I'll go up there. First thing they used to tell me in the early days, we can't retry your case. Because I've been telling about the unfairness convictions. They made it clear we can't retry your case. I quit telling them about the justice and start asking for mercy. The Messiah said, and he demonstrated, mercy triumphs justice, bro. You see what I'm saying? Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. That's what that was about. And so I quit asking for justice. The parole board, the clemency board, the commutation board, the great state of Oklahoma set them up for entities of mercy, bro. Not justice. Mercy. Mercy. See what I'm saying? 30 years, I wouldn't ask for mercy, bro. Knowing I'm innocent, the just thing to do is to free me. I knew it wasn't going to be no justice coming. You know why I knew it wasn't going to be no justice? It was justice that kept our people in slavery for 307 years. Yeah. Legislation. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You legislate this stuff in and then you keep it going, and did that for me 40 years. I found the evidence proving my innocence, bro. Proving my innocence 20 years ago. 1998. I come into some money and I hired a private investigator. I looked at Johnny Cochran, right? In the OJ case, Johnny Cochran gave an interview and he tell the reporters about when the crime first happened, the first detective or police on the scene said they don't apprehend the perpetrator on the scene. He gets, well, if you get away, they don't catch him 4 or 5 months later, right? 3 weeks later, whatever. Every day. That's just call it an ongoing investigation. Right. Every day there's reports being wrote. There's being submitted. It's an ongoing investigation. Leads that failed, it's in the reports. So Johnny Cochran said, get you a private investigator. If you recall that after they got deep into it on about OJ and who cut the people's head off, and it was the police. About the police and their procedures. Yeah. So I listened to him back in the day when I got the money. First thing I did was I had a private investigator. He went and found some police reports. They asked the girl who was in the store, who did this killing, who did it. She said, that's him over there, number 6. Guess what? I was in number 2. Wow. My co-defendant was in number 4. Right? So here's the question. Like I said, if you don't ask the question, you never get the answer. So the question is this. Well, if that's the case, how did I get to the defense table at preliminary hearing? How the hell did I get here? Me and my co-defendant, 3, 4 years in the county jail, you rough and ready. If you didn't do it, you look like you done done. Look like you done. And back in the 75, we look like 2 flies sitting there. We the only blacks in the old court. You know what I mean? And the question is, how did I get here? How? So somebody asked the question, I'll give the answer. Did I get to the defense preliminary 3 months later? If she said number 6, it was black. No, that's not how I got there. How you got there? Police conspiracy cover up. Wow.
Nobody won't come to that conclusion of what really happened. Why I done 48 years. Why it wasn't a miscarriage of justice. It wasn't no mistake. It was conscious and deliberate, bro. She said no mistakes. This was the reports I found 20 years later.
So how they get you out of 6?
And number 4, my co.
Yeah, your co-defendant.
Yeah, how they get us? Police conspiracy cover up. Nobody won't put a name on it. Nobody won't speak it. That's why I couldn't get out. Truth make the cockroaches running high. You know? I'm just saying, bro. And I couldn't get no tractions for the next 20 years. They knew I'm innocent. I called them of actual innocence. So they use what they call procedural default. Res judicata. Res judicata. You waive your rights, but you didn't bring it up in your record. Latches. It's been too long, and then you became and say, "Oh, that's all bullshit." I'm showing the colorable claim. I'm sure, but they did, right? It wouldn't let me out until 2021. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals came out with a ruling in the case called Fort Knott. In the case Fort Knott versus Pro, in its essence, it said if you follow a claim of actual innocence, then the court is required to review your merits. Drop them bars and review the merits. Newly presented evidence, not newly discovered. See, they will never look at my case before because I'm claiming newly discovered. And they saying, well, it's been there for all these years. What you mean discovered? Show it due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why it's new. And I couldn't show it because I didn't know it was there. Right? 20 years it's been there. I didn't know. Well, I ain't showing no due diligence. Me trying to get it. I kept trying to give it. That's what they held me on. Another one called latches. It's been too long. They come out with a ruling about newly presented evidence. Not newly. I took the same thing I had been going in and turned it around. And the witness, that's what you got in court, she said it was me. She asked, stone serious, that is me, right? So the court ruling up was she had a testimony, she didn't deviate. So when it came over the newly presented,
It wasn't good.
it was good. I switched it. I got out of the envelope. My son always thought I was going to took me years to follow what I was telling him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Agree with her. The lawyers are trained to discredit the witness. You know what I'm saying? To impeach. That's the instinct, right? I'm telling them, no, don't impeach her. Don't try to agree with her.
They thought you were losing your mind.
Yeah, I said agree with her because what she said in court is inadmissible if it don't coincide with what she said originally.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I agree with her. She said she positive on who she picked. Okay, yeah, I got the paperwork. I got the paperwork now. Who she said she picked? I agree with her. That's how they reversed my case and let me out. Same stuff in there all the time. You know what I'm saying? One way to get around it. Yeah, switched it up, bro. Nah, here's where I'm at. And why I need to keep my mouth closed, but I ain't being quiet because, I live every day like it's my last. And if it's my last day, I'm going to make it my best day. Hallelujah. You know?
Yes.
So here's the deal.
Yes.
I got ideas in my head about, like I told you, they had the death penalty, right? They do the death penalty was on the table when they heard the reports. That's attempted murder, bro.
Yeah, that's attempted.
That's attempted murder. You put a name on it, but a police conspiracy cover up, a lot of people ain't trying to plug in. Everybody don't want to plug into that language.
Wow.
I would say we've been twisted by the linguistic, bro. They don't want to plug into that language. Police conspiracy cover, that implies a whole lot more. You see what I'm saying? Attempted murder. Well, another one. Accessory murder. She told you who shot her. She told who it was. You let them go. You got me. That's accessory murder, bro. See, when you put a name on stuff, you get a whole new picture.
Yeah. Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You get a whole new picture, right?
Man.
And I'm telling you this stuff, not out of anger and rancor. I'm past that now. It's even about what they could afford. Well, they cannot afford. You know what I'm saying? But could be accountable. Right. It's been done. It can't be undone. But you can be accountable for what you done. Well, that's my mission, bro. And I hope to hook up, and I hope who hear this give them some inspiration and stuff. Let everybody know that if I ain't the happiest man on the planet,
I'll take number 2 spot till he get it.
But God.
You know, but God, but God. Yeah, I'm under that, but God.
So I have a question with this show, this podcast being called Mindset Therapy. Mindset Therapy.
Gotcha.
I would like for you
Mm-hmm.
to tell the people what that pressure is like. Being in that cell, confined, constricted, limited, what that pressure is like. Oftentimes that pressure busts pipes.
Yeah, pressure make diamonds too.
Bingo. Bingo. So it was in that cell that
I became a diamond. I became a diamond. The diamond shine. The diamond gives light.
so to the
All I
viewers,
want
you
to do
heard
is
this
get light.
man say that he was limited on education,
Yes.
self-taught,
Yes.
prison,
Yes.
self-taught,
With attitude.
with an attitude.
Yeah. With attitude.
And now you hear him say that that same pressure that burst pipes, Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, California, all 50 states, that pressure, his pressure made a diamond. And I sit here before you today, speaking to a gentleman. I'm honored. I'm honored.
Praise be to God.
A gentleman that done 48 calendar years and some months and some days.
Few hours, but they got to pass on that.
All that.
He said they got to pass on it.
Got to pass.
Wait on
To be where he is today and to still have the mindset that the fight is bigger than, not the flight. He could go in the courthouse, get his money, and he can take out running, but the fight is bigger than him. He's going to pour back into his brother, his people, his family, the guys that he formed a brotherhood with, a relationship with. And I tell people oftentimes, what you put into the cup is what you get out of the cup. Hey, man, it's an honor, man.
If you don't put nothing in it, bro, you're sipping on an empty cup. Big ups to the cup. Big ups to the cup.
Said big ups to the cup.
Big ups to the cup.
I have a question too. And what I understand is that the same information the judge had, not going backwards, but I'm just trying to get a understanding.
Right.
You know, I have an understanding, but I want the people to understand
Right.
what has really happened in this situation, man. This is an injustice for real, to the highest degree. So the judge informed the parole board that you was actually innocent, and the parole board refused.
No, not the judge. The district attorney.
District attorney. The district
I got
attorney.
letters from the district attorney.
So, but they refused. The parole board refused to look at the actual evidence.
Now look at it, bro.
Refused.
The first time I wrote this district attorney. I'm a law clerk. I'm in the law library. My assignment is inmate legal research assistant.
Okay.
That's the official title of my job.
You was Johnny Cochran.
Nah, I wasn't that good.
Yeah, you was good enough, man. Johnny Bricks, man.
Let me put that to sleep.
Right.
Let me put that to sleep. I stayed in for 48 years. Right. Why is I ain't gonna move from one place to another?
That's right.
So I ain't running that.
You're too gracious, man.
Okay, I mean that's
right. Respect. That's right. That's right.
What was I saying? You know, I got this early shit.
No, we was talking about how they kept from the parole board didn't want to.
Oh yeah, the first time, 1993. I'm in the law library and I'm doing research on this guy, and they're trying to put a juvenile case on him to time, right? You know how to do after formal conviction. So I'm trying to show him, well, this other conviction was he was a juvenile. I'm researching this case and I come across this attorney's name, public defender for the juvenile division. And his name is Robert Malfeld. I'm like, what? Malfeld? This can't be the same one. That's a weird, strange name. Right. I pulls it. I got to looking. I found out it's the same guy, the prosecuting attorney. in my case.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, same guy. Now I'm saying, what the? He done got a conviction, bro, on two high profile murder cases. This murder case I'm on. It's a lot of the police was under a whole lot of pressure, a lot of racial tension and shit. Two black dudes and kill a white woman in no sundown, Edmond, Oklahoma. You better not catch a colored boy out here after the sun go down, And so he done got a victory, right, on these two cases, unexpected man. But his career still go like, right, straight up, right. But still, his career go down. When I found him at 18 years later, right, was in the public defender's office of the juvenile division. Right?
Decline.
Yeah, but so by this time, I don't learn how to write letters, how to structure letters. I don't learn how creative writing, and I start my letter off through the narrow windows of my business. I followed your career over the years. You're blessed like that, and I asked for his help. I said, no, my case better than you, but I remember one time. I told him, I said, I know the odds. I said, but I remember a time when odds were stacked against you. You persisted and won. See what I'm saying? On my case, right? And I tell him, I said, what I remember more clearly, how surprised you was about a victory. You know what I'm saying? It stunned you and everybody else that you had won. My lawyer was like, who was expected. And I told him all this shit. I'm not trying to compromise your integrity or get you no. But if you can't help me, somebody else will do it. Man, the next week, bro, it wasn't in 5 days, bro. I got a letter from this guy, and he started it off. He said, yes, Mr. Simmons, I remember your case very well. He says, matter of fact, it's haunted me all these years. What? Look at God's terrible.
But God.
But God.
But God.
But
God.
That's an 83.
Wow.
84, I go from parole, take it to the parole. Oh, you forged that. Get out of here. What? Next year, I go back up there. It's another parole chairman. I think her name is Susan Luck. She sees it, and she convinced me to get all 5 votes for parole, right? Government attorney. What? Oklahoma's, man, this is crazy. In the nation that do this is well kept secret. Governor appointed parole board members. Governor appointees, there's 5 of them. And most of them is ex-district attorneys or prosecutors. Right. Yeah, stuff like that, right? And this is who we got on the parole. But like I said, this is the board of mercy. But it's stacked with law enforcement.
Hey.
You see what I'm saying? That's what it's stacked with, And so I go up for the parole board. The second time I got all 5 votes, and the governor turned it down. Shit, it's been up and down since then, bro. There's been times I had 1 foot out and 1 foot in. I thought I was gone. It looked so motherfucking good. I done went to the garment factory and measured my suits and my clothes. I'm finna order me a wardrobe. I just knew I was gone.
Shut you down.
Somebody decided that me to help it. Shut it down. That's when your hope card felt that splat on the floor, and you're scared to hope some more. You know what I mean? You dare not put this kind of energy and pressure into filling up hope and faith. Would to be snatched and dashed like that. Yeah, that's that roller coaster, bro. But you keep coming back. But you keep the faith of a mustard seed. Yeah, you keep coming back, bro. But look, when you come to know, that's when you're free. See, the Lord that says free is free indeed. That's absolutely, Lord, that's so positive, because it's the manifestation of Christ that said it wasn't the laws and the people's and my ability to stand fast and do this here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Deciphering what he said. He said, why marvel at the things I do? When you can do even greater. And when I heard that he's talking directly to me. This after months of processing, months of going crazy. When I heard you, I didn't hear the black, the Christian, the Muslim, the old, the young. I heard you. That's so crazy. Yes, I owe it to myself, bro, to decipher this.
That's right.
What did this talk about? Coming out of going insanity, I discovered the manifestation, bro. The manifestation of my liberation. I got out of prison, bro, with stage 4 liver cancer. 4 months later, the liver cancer receded. Manifestation of the restoration of my health. He was a healer, bro. But God. Right with your cast, but God.
Okay.
You know, I'm straight. I ain't gonna put it in public how much money I got. I ain't got enough to do Jesus work. Let that be clear.
That's right.
You know, got a lot of work to do, but manifestation of the restoration of the accumulation of my wealth. That's the Lord, bro. That's the Lord. That's Jesus Christ, bro. That's the Messiah, bro.
Well,
He looked at his little disciples and he said, let me tell this story. He looked at his little homies. I'm speaking our vernacular. He looking at his little homies, bro. He got 12 of them sitting around watching him. And his homies is watching him, bro. And he giving sight to the blind and turning water to wine. He's stealing the wind and making the food tree with him.
Come on now.
He brought Lazarus back to life, right? And he tell his little homie who's seeing all this stuff going down, he say, why more of that what I do? He said, don't be all they sit there stunned what I do. This is what they, when you interpret it,
Yeah.
why more of that what I do?
Right.
You could do it too. They thought I went crazy, bro. They thought I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought I really lost my mind. And like I said, I used to be a man.
Right.
A couple times. It led me right back to Isa ibn Maryam. Jesus, the son of Mary.
Jesus.
It raised it back, and he gave us the key, bro.
Gave us the key.
He gave us the key. We don't know how to decipher it. We way out there, like my brother Dwayne said. We way out there.
Let me tell you. Check this out. So, here on Mindset Therapy, I always have 7 questions, and 7 isn't for a reason. 7 is godly to me. 7 is everything. But what you saying, how you decipher, Jesus and disciples, when many times we do the podcast, and I always reference in that vernacular, I can say, like, Jesus and his people, Jesus went to the slums, Jesus went rock with us. So Jesus had these little cats, everybody ain't, it was like they were so holy and endowed, he was beneath them. So they like, well, if you here, Jesus, you the G. Why you messing with these? They no, it's who I'm rocking with. So when he rocking with them, every attack Jesus had, they was getting that. Like that, you spoke of Lazarus. He came back, brought Lazarus back. Lazarus got a hit out on him just because Jesus brought him back to life. So Lazarus like,
you know why he had a hit on him?
Brought me back and knocked me on.
You know why he had a hit on him? And why he still got a hit on him today? He experienced life and death.
Yes, sir.
Before Jesus Christ did.
Yes, sir.
Where's the book of Lazarus?
Yeah.
Where's the gospel according to Lazarus?
Yeah.
Of course he had an ABP out on him.
Yeah.
So book of Eli.
Well, these questions, I think, is going to be some of the points you really want to tackle.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off with question number 1.
Right.
Question number 1 is, what kind of support? Wait, no, that's 2.
Okay.
Question number 1 is, what's been the most surprising or the difficult adjustment you had to make since you've been out? I want you too hard. You put a white flag and say, I respect that.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
My brother back there. Check it out. I ain't adjusted yet.
That's right.
And I make it up as I go along.
Look, God.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything I bring to the table, I think is better than what was already there before me.
Come on now.
And I ain't saying that I was no big head, but I've been freed by the Messiah. I'm free indeed. So, and he said, marvel not.
Marvel not.
Yeah, so I'm not fascinated by the things I see. I sit on that bunk and I had dreams and visions about this and that and this and that. Now, I'm seeing it. I'm a living witness to, bro, what he was talking about is real.
That's right.
My family, me and my family, my little brother, he was 12 years old when I left the world.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
The dude right there, it's not a little boy, man. You know what I mean? Here we are, bro. So the manifestation is real. What's been it ain't been nothing hard about my adjustment. What's been hard is those adjusting to me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they had expectations, and I was fit in this mold and that mold. And those adjusting to me. When you're free, you're not marginalized, bro, by concepts, ideas, traditional, ceremonial, burial rituals, and none of that. Your marital ritual. When you're free, bro. When you're free, you make it up as you go along. But here's the key. I'm talking this freedom, but it comes with a price. It comes with a price. You're going to make some enemies and some frenemies. You know what I mean? And everybody that you don't fit into their mold and expectations, bro, you're going to have problems with.
But here's the thing. If it ain't rough, it ain't right. With me, it ain't. I was positioned and conditioned for this here. Told you about the diamonds. Let me tell you about the grapes. The only fruit that was grown deliberately to be crushed.
Wow.
You know?
Never
But
heard
through that crushing come wine that lasts 200 years. Fine wine.
Fine wine.
You say? So we got to go through the crushing, bro.
Wow.
And my son said, you don't like no calendar and hide it in your bosom. I was being positioned for this. I ain't tooting my horn. I believe in the just God. And he ain't put me through this just to. Because in equal balance, to quote Shakespeare, let me say, I'll go from the middle to Shakespeare.
Come on, man.
In equal balance, I had justly weighed the arms my arms have done. And I find my suffering far away. My arms have done. Something like that. So to paraphrase, sacrifice. You know, so I measured it all. What have I done wrong to deserve this? So I got to come up with the conclusion, bro. This is I'm being positioned for something.
That's right.
Special.
That's right.
You know the story of Job?
Yes, sir.
But God.
But God.
You know the story of Job?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brother asked me, Brother Frederick Douglass Hayes down in Texas, you know, what Friendship West Baptist Church down in Texas. Frederick Douglass Hayes. He asked me to get up and say the congregation. That's when I first got. I was down there for my birthday. He was on the 13th. So I ain't prepared. He called me on the spot, but I shit, made for this evergreen, you know.
Built for it.
I got up and so I asked the congregation, anybody know the story of Job? I ain't we know. I said, Pastor, have you told them the story of Job? He said, yeah. I said, well, you know, Job was his name, and the name is a noun. So let's turn that noun into a verb. And he asked me, how did I do it? How did I manage to get you all the time? I was being Jobed. I was being Jobed, man. You see what I'm saying? That's too, right? And Job was a righteous guy. His idea was about testing. He went through the testing. You know?
Yeah.
But check it out. Go to Job 42 and you see a whole nother Job. The restoration. You see what I'm saying? I'm still being Jobed. I'm still being Job. This is what you see right here. This is a part of that Job, bro. ED, bro. Job.
That was amazing. All right, question number 2. That was amazing. You knocked it out the
Let's
park.
take a break. I need to go take a leak.
All right.
Put it on pause. Let's go take a leak. He said,
well, look, as y'all see,
drop the mic right there.
Drop the mic, man. Drop the mic. As you can see, man, this is a good one, but you know, we're gonna take a slight intermission. We're gonna get our things corrected, and man, but God, man, Mindset Therapy, Real Talk Podcast, man, you can't beat this, man. Let's go. Stay tuned, baby. Stay tuned. Let's go. But God.
No, you good.